Hi everyone, I'm Noelle and this is the Intentional Pregnancy Project. This week we're talking about a fun one, finances. Everyone talks about how kids are so expensive and that you'll never have enough money to actually have a kid. But the truth of the matter is, there's the basic amount of money that you need to survive with a child, and there's the amount of money that you would like to have, and then there's, wouldn't it be nice if we had? A lot of people end up having kids before their financially ideal situation. And that's okay. It can be tough, but it can be done. One of the reasons that my husband and I decided to wait a couple of years was because of our finances. And with both of us working, we're doing pretty well. However, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, which means we primarily would need to live off of just one income, and that wasn't exactly feasible right now. Even with really strict budgeting, there still needs to be some extra income somewhere. So we're working on figuring that out. If you're in a similar situation, that might be something that you're working on figuring out. How to go from 2 incomes to 1, or how to do 2 incomes with the additional expensive daycare, which can be really expensive. I found it helpful to sit down and really think this through. There are a couple of baby calculators online that list the different expenses, and you can put in if you expect to use daycare, or if you expect to cloth diaper and things like that, and it'll tell you the approximate cost of the child's first year and the following years and all of that stuff. And I did a couple of those, and I went off of that to create my own simplified version because I believe in a simplified life. I found that there were a lot of things on those lists that weren't necessarily necessary, a lot of expensive extras that you don't need. Like, your child probably doesn't need a bouncer and a swing and a play gym, and you don't need that many things for one child unless you want them. There were also a lot of extra expenses in the clothing category, and whether you formula feed or only use organic food, or all of those things can make a big difference in the amount that you'll end up paying. I think it is important to sit down and calculate that so you know kind of what your expenses are going to be, what's covered in your medical plan, what's not covered. That's a huge one. Something that I have done to prepare financially, in addition to, we're both, like I said, my husband and I are both working full-time to save as much money as we possibly can, in addition to covering monthly bills. But I'm also working on the side. I'm starting a business, and I have looked up pretty much every possible way to make a little bit extra money here and there when it comes to especially like buying baby products. And as I mentioned in the previous video about buying baby products, a lot of the things that I have bought are basic necessities that I got either really cheap, clearance, discounted, or used free points and things like that. I am a big believer in being as debt-free as possible, and I understand that there are a lot of circumstances beyond our control, but we do need to take as many steps as possible to be in control of our finances whenever possible. And with that in mind, I do use my credit card frequently. However, I always make sure that there is money in the bank to pay for it right then and there. So basically, I'm using it as a debit card. And the only reason I use it is because of the points that I get. Those points I redeem on Amazon, and I have gotten so many things for absolutely for free just because that's the point system. All of it is, of course, being very diligent, being very smart about what is in my bank account, making sure that I use the envelopes budgeting system. I keep everything extremely organized, both in Excel and in the envelopes online program. I'm very nitpicky on the budget, and that has really helped us in our goal to be on top of things financially and save for the future. So I think it's really important to remember that though you may never have enough money to have a baby, you do want to be stable. You do want to have some security, some savings definitely in case of emergency. But you don't need to be, you don't have to have this certain amount of money, though you can certainly set goals to save before you start trying. But I think in our culture there's a lot of, I need to be in this certain place in life before I have kids. And for some people that may be really important, but I think it's something that we have to evaluate. Is that really what's best? I think it is definitely different for everybody. It's something very important to consider. So how about you? How are you, or how have you financially prepared to have children? Please share in the comments below. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.